Guten Tag, mesdames et messieurs, c'est moi, Dieter. Ich bin Dieter. Yeah, Dieter's seen a lot of videos lately, all these guitarists putting out this stuff. What not to do, all intermediate players, never do this, never do that. And Dieter's going to say bullshit to all that. Dieter's going to show you what not to do, which is exactly what to do. First of all, make your videos like Dieter does. These are things actually you shouldn't do, but Dieter does, okay? So make your videos with a crappy iPhone 6 that you dropped in coffee so that the volume goes in and out. That's number one thing you shouldn't do, but Dieter does, because that's all he can afford. Number two is forget about the name, all right? The name on the guitar is more or less meaningless unless it's, if it's from a good manufacturer. That's all that matters, and there are lots of good ones. Dieter has 3 guitars that he would like that he doesn't have. So, yeah, don't make that mistake of. I saw criticism of this guitar, and this is what they were criticizing. Now, this is how stupid. All right, I'll tell these guys, yeah, you're a bunch of stupid, monetized shills. That's what I'll call you. Their criticism of this guitar was, oh, there's too much labeling on the faceplate of the headstock. What's that got to do with the guitar? Go down. They're proud of where it's made in Canada. So what? How's that affect the guitar? This is a beautifully constructed instrument. All right. Now I don't know if this is the third or fourth thing I'm getting at, but whatever. All right. People will tell you, don't practice scales. Practice scales. People will tell you, don't practice patterns. Practice patterns, right? You destroy a pattern. You can only destroy a pattern or embellish a pattern if you know the pattern in the first place, can't you? Right? So. Oh, and only record your video when you don't make any mistakes. If you see Dieter's videos, Dieter has tons of mistakes. You know why? Because I don't rehearse any of this stuff. I used to, and I got frustrated because I practiced something 10, 15 times and get it down right, and then as soon as I pushed record, I got nervous and would flub up anyway. So I just decided, fuck it, I'm going to flub up anyway, so I'm just going to push record and see what happens. Yeah, even the songs are right. They're not written down. Those are all spontaneous. I haven't rehearsed any of that stuff. So, but don't do that. All right? Don't do that. That's a mistake you'll make. Okay? And the other thing is, oh, you got to get this gear, you got to get that gear, right? Like, I got a lot of gear, right? But I've been mucking around with this for like 30 years. If you were mucking around with it for 30 years and didn't have a wife and kids, you probably have a lot of gear too, right? It's irrelevant, okay? It's irrelevant. I know for a fact I could just take this guitar. It's because it's a good guitar. If it's set up right? It's a good guitar, and if I practiced on this and only had this, I'd become a better player. I saw one guy has a channel, and he was going on, wow, this is so cool. This thing is in tune and it's shipped. Doesn't matter if it's in tune, if it's shipped or not, right? Maybe like you don't know the conditions it was shipped under, right? You could have just been lucky. Like, you have to be able to tune a guitar, right, to play it. So that's irrelevant, okay? It doesn't matter. If it's got good tuners on it, right? If it's got good tuners on it and it's set up right, you put it in tune, it'll stay in tune. Then go on about string gauge. If you've got different guitars, yeah, try out different string gauges. If you only got one guitar, well, every time you change the strings, try out a different string gauge. It's not rocket science, people. People want to make it rocket science and what I also find funny, So don't do this, because Dita does it. When I troll these people, it's really funny because you'll see the video. Okay, it's about this. Now, if it isn't clickbait, that's fine. But there's also clickbait where I say, well, this is a blah blah blah, and I'll compare the top 10 brands, and then you know that there's 4 of the top selling 10 brands that aren't in that top 10 list. So what the fuck is that about? It's just bullshit. Now I lost my train of thought, which Dita does quite easily. But yeah, that's the thing. Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. So you know, if you're doing a video, if you're seeing a video on Fishman transducers, right? Everyone will say, well, I've got a Martin guitar with a bags thing, or I've got my Martin guitar with a K&K, or I've got this. Okay, that's fine. If you actually watch the video, what the video is about a Fishman transducer. So do you have a Fishman transducer that you can compare it to? Otherwise, you're just blah 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 blah. I have a Martin this, I have a Taylor that. Well, I'm happy for you. What's that got to do with the particular video? Or a video is comparing this amp with that amp, and you go, well, I have a Marshall blah 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 blah. Well, I'm happy for you. What's that got to do with, what is it, a trainer amp and a Mesa Boogie amp, if that's what you're comparing? Or you know, a guy's doing a comparison about bass guitars, and you go, well, I have an 88 key Yamaha synthesizer. Well, I'm happy for you. What's that got to do with bass guitars? I don't know. Dita just finds this stuff funny. So I didn't even know that this would go down this avenue, but whatever guitar you have, if it's a good guitar, just take pleasure in knowing that you have a good guitar, and then maybe learn how to read music, right? And maybe learn how to play a song that you like, so that it'll keep you interested, right? Don't do this, don't do that. Do whatever the fuck you want, right? At the end of the day, because that's what you're going to do anyway. If you really think that you'll sound better and play better if this says Taylor or Gibson or Martin, well, good for you. If it's going to make you play better, I'm all for it, right? Wiedersehen, mes amis. And remember, oh yeah, really important thing too. You play electric guitar better the longer your hair is, and if you have a beard. And if you can't, if you're bald, then you have to shave it off. And when you perform in public, you have to wear a wig or a hat. That's just the way it is, mes amis. Wiedersehen.